Girlfriends, hello, hello, hello. It is that time. It is that time for season 2 interview on Girlfriend's Guide to Homeschooling. So, you all come on in, come on in, come on in. And as you come in, hit the share button. Let us know where you are viewing us from. Okay. And we are going to get started in just a little bit with our special guest. Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. Woo! All right. So if you are new, totally new to this platform and to this show, this is Girlfriend's Guide with Angela Jordan Perry. Welcome, Bianca. Welcome, Bianca. We're going to come in and you all going to come in as well. We're all going to hit the share and get this out to people. Hi, Tremaine. You all hit the share button. Our guest, Aquarius Cain. I should ask her, make sure. Aquarius Cain, I think it is. She should be on here in just a few moments. There she is, and we're going to bring her on. I just started pouring my in here. So I'm going to share this. Let's everyone take a moment to share onto the various platforms that we have. Hi, Aquarius.
Hi, Angela.
Yes. Woo! Yes, so excited. Here we go. We're going to do some sharing here, guys, before we get started.
Yes, we
let's
want
make
everyone
this real quick
to hear what we've got to talk about today.
Absolutely. I'm going to share it to a few places. One more. It's just started to pouring rain in here. All right, everyone, hit the share button, hit the share button, hey, let us know where you're viewing us from. Give us a shout out. Friends, share Girlfriend's Guide with Homeschooling. So you just make sure you share it and we're going to get started, okay?
Yes.
Thank you. Hi, Penny. Welcome. Come on in. Aquarius, let me know when you are all set, and we will, once you share to all of your pages, to your community, then we will get started. You just let me know.
I am sharing it with, I'm in a lot of communities, so I don't know if we have time.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
No, I'm joking.
All right. Just let me know. Either you can do it later, but if you want them to see it live,
yes.
specifically those
No, I'm sharing it.
Live.
I'm going to share it to a few, and then as we're talking, I'm going to share as well, so that
okay, yes, absolutely.
Everyone can check it out.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Girlfriend's Guide to Homeschooling with Angela Jordan Perry. I am turned up for today's interview.
Yay!
Welcome, everybody. This is season 2 of Girlfriend's Guide to Homeschooling. Whew, this has taken a minute to get here, but hey, you know, all the things had to be in the right place. You all give us some love, give us some hearts. Hey there, Penny, welcome. All the things have to be aligned, you know, the moon, the stars, the sun, the energy, everything had to be aligned for us to get to this point. And so, you know what? I have learned just to go with the flow, embrace the journey. Here we are with season 2 with my special guest. So let's just jump right on into it. And you all hit the share button as you come in, share, and then let us know, Aquarius and myself, know where you are viewing us from. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Let you know who I am. This is Girlfriend's Guide to Homeschooling with Angela Jordan Perry. I am delighted, so delighted to have you on here today. This is a platform that gives voice to the African diasporic community. Basically, we're saying hashtag we homeschool too, and we're getting it done. We have single mamas homeschooling. We got dual career parents homeschooling. We have traveling parents homeschooling. We have grandparents, guardians homeschooling. And if you're not familiar with what the African diasporic community is, the African diaspora are the scattered, those who are scattered all over the place, who are part of the African community. So that looks like anyone brown and black or anything tan, really, basically, of the African diasporic community, but specifically homeschooling. So my purpose-driven life is to make a positive impact on thousands of homeschoolers worldwide. I do that in part here on Girlfriend's Guide to Homeschooling, introducing amazing interviewees like today, Aquarius. Is it Cain or Cain?
Hi. Hey, everybody.
Aquarius. Yeah. So, great people like Aquarius is on here to interview, to share their journey, and to share resources that they have available to the homeschool community. Okay. So this platform is to showcase just that. So just a little bit about me, just a short little bit. I am a homeschool mom of 19 years, homeschooling 8 children, 3 of whom I graduated out of homeschool. Okay. I'm still in the thick of it with 5. In the state of South Carolina is where I reside, in the northwestern part of the state, where my family and I are self-sustaining farmers, although we're transitioning out of farming because I'm vegan now this past year, and my family is going to vegetarian. So now we really have pets, okay? But in the state of South Carolina, I give families legal rights to homeschool their children in this state. They have to have legal status, join an association, and I do that. My other platforms, Educating Our Own, that's a platform that is, again, to encourage the African diaspora community. The Homeschool Upstart is another resource to encourage the homeschooling community. All right, so as you can see, my life is all things homeschool.
Yes.
So that's just a little bit about myself. But, all right, here's the best part. So our guest, Aquarius, is it Aquarius Cain? Is that how I say it?
Yes, Aquarius Cain. That's me.
All right, so Aquarius Cain, are you ready to make this happen?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I've been excited
Ready.
since.
All right, girl.
Remember, I got super excited and I booked my show before you even started your show. Remember?
I know. So we've been waiting for a good little long
Yes.
time. Good little time. Hey, Shiva. But let me tell you a little bit about Aquarius Cain. Aquarius Quari Cain, accomplished educator, entrepreneur, and CEO of Achieve Success Tutoring. It is an academic and educational support company providing tutoring, test prep, and S.T.E.A.M program. That's S.T.E.A.M, S.T.E.A.M program. She is a homeschooling mom now for 4 years to her son, who is 10 years old. His name is Jakhari. Did I say that
correctly?
Yes, Jakhari. She is the wife of Kiki, and together they reside in Georgia. Aquarius is a lover of learning. She holds a bachelor's degree in biology, master's in public health, and she's working now on her PhD in public health. This powerhouse homeschooling mom has been a high school educator for more than 13 years in the areas of science, all levels of math, reading, language arts, study skills, and testing preparation. She also trains tutors how to effectively tutor and how to effectively have great tutoring practices. Aquarius started Dream in S.T.E.A.M.
Yes.
Again, that's S.T.E.A.M. She started Dream in S.T.E.A.M to provide kids with access to science-related activities and products to help them prepare for 21st century advancements. And when I spoke with her and she told me about that, I was excited and thrilled. And hopefully this time of my life, I will be able to support that and be a part of that. But Aquarius' mission is to help students to excel personally and academically, to increase their confidence, and to help them to become responsible and well prepared. Now, all of her resources in which you can get in contact with Achieve Success Tutoring, Dream in S.T.E.A.M, you'll find all that detail in her bio, okay? So, Aquarius, I have just told the girlfriends a little bit about you. Please tell us anything else we left out, and how did you get started in your homeschooling journey?
Okay. Well, I like to introduce myself as the lover of learning, the giver of knowledge, and the overachiever. And I've just been pegged. Someone else gave me this title, which I'm happy to accept, the Queen of S.T.E.A.M. I love it.
Okay.
S.T.E.A.M is my life. I was a high school science teacher, so science is everything to me. When I started my tutoring company, going on this year will be 10 years with my tutoring company. Yay. I didn't get the opportunity to teach science. No one needed help in science. They needed help in reading and math and everything else, so I kind of didn't get to play with it a lot. So now that I've started homeschooling, I can play with it every day. Just starting that S.T.E.A.M business. So I got started homeschooling. My son actually asked to be homeschooled at the end of his first grade year. Kindergarten and first grade in public school was a little rough for both of us. For one, because he was at a level where he knew the material, and they just kind of weren't differentiating and going forward. But private school just was not in the budget. So I'm like, okay, we're going to stick it out. And at the end of first grade, he asked to be homeschooled. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm educating everyone else. So let me make sure I can make this work for my child. And as a parent, you're going to do whatever you've got to do. So I started out, I was the director at a daycare, running my tutoring company and trying to homeschool. So can you imagine what that looked like on a daily basis?
Wow. No.
It was crazy.
Wow.
And so then I officially resigned from the daycare so that I could homeschool him and not have to kind of do everything, you know, all crazy like. And here he is. I think he wants to stick his head in. Go ahead.
Hi.
This is Jakhari. So,
Hi,
and the first year I just said, you know what, we're just going to experiment. We're going to see, you know, what works for us. But I think like most homeschoolers, you try to start out replicating the school day. And that's what we did. I'm like, okay, we're going to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And it was frustrating, to say the least. So I just said, you know what, we're going to sleep in. Why do we need to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning? For who? Who we need to impress?
Yeah.
So, and then we end up getting our rhythm going with it. And then the next year, some friends were like, are you going to homeschool other people's kids? I said, well, you know what? I've experimented. And so now I think I've got my footing. I think I know what I'm doing now. And so now I can begin to homeschool other people's kids. And she's like, are you serious? I said, yeah. I said, you know, I would have to take the man cave back from my husband, though. I just gave it to him. And I got to take it back and turn the downstairs into a homeschool. But hey, I guess in the name of kind of bringing in some extra income, he might be okay with it. So that's what we did.
Right,
and so here we are going into our 4th year of homeschooling. And I absolutely love it.
So take us to when you first began, okay? And I'm also going to give room and time for you to share what you have your hands into and explain and give place to achieve your tutoring, and then also dream and S.T.E.A.M, okay? So I will give you time for that. But take us back to when you first started homeschooling. How was your beginnings of homeschooling? And did your degree help you to become successful start in this homeschooling?
I think my experience in teaching definitely helped me to have a better, a greater start in homeschooling. So I started out, I went to a homeschool expo just to kind of get an idea of what is this like? What do you do? Type of thing. And it was overwhelming, to say the least. If you don't know anything about it and you go into this big arena and everybody's trying to sell you curriculum and this, that, or whatever, you're just like, do I need this one? Do I need this one? What am I doing? What am I doing? So I just decided I had enough materials here to do my own thing. And so I just kind of used and pulled from, went to like a couple different stores and got a couple workbooks as well. But I tested them myself. To see where he was, and we just kind of worked from there, just in terms of pulling together things. And the way that I started doing it that made it more fun was I started asking him what he liked and what he wanted to learn. And so then that's what helped me to begin to kind of get lessons together and make sure that I kept him interested in the buy-in for homeschool. So it wasn't where I was in control of everything. I allowed him to control his learning as well.
I like that word, kept him interested in the buy-in for his education. So it seemed like it was a lot, you can correct me, was it a lot child-driven as to what you were going to educate him, or did you kind of do that and then add in your things? I know every state is different, and so in our state, we're required to have some certain subject matter. But for you in Georgia, which is where you're from, how did it, was a majority him led or you adding in things too? Give us a picture of what that was.
So it was more of a coached effort, a team effort. So I allowed him just in terms of the science, because he's very hands-on. So what do you want to learn about in science this year? So then I use that to build the lessons around that. So that's how I really make homeschooling fun for him and for others. Is everything is based around their interests, and then I build the curriculum from there, or I build the lessons from there. So they kind of guide the topic, put it that way. And in the beginning, especially for the history part, because I am not a history buff at all, that was the hardest part in homeschooling. But what I decided was we're going to start in Africa. I wanted him to have a base of who he was and who we are as a people before we came to the American history, where it, to me, makes us look like, it's just all about slavery. It's all about the civil rights movement, and not to denounce any of that in terms of the importance in our history. But I just didn't want to start there. I wanted to start, let's talk about kings and queens. Let's talk about the richness of Africa and all these things. And once I've built that solid foundation of confidence in Africans as a whole, then we're going to come to the America. And so you won't have that feeling of, gosh, we're just so timid and we're so, that type of thing. So that's where I began with that. And when I say I didn't know what I was doing, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just finding stuff, researching, asking questions, buying books, and just pulling it together myself. And I believe even Dr. Shiva, she started teaching those types of courses as well. And I'm like, I'll buy it from you. I don't want to do this by myself. Like, where is it? And that's that's the sad part is on, I guess, a higher level, it's hard to find African history that's on a child's level. Everything is so philosophical and theoretical and on a college term, and so having to read all of that and pull out what your children can understand took some time. It still takes some time, to be honest.
Yeah, and I really get that. And so if this is not a plug for anything, is we need those resources as far as the African diaspora community. We need the simplicity of getting our history on a child level. And if you don't know about urban intellectuals, that's a great resource. Dr. Sheba Quinn has a great bit of resources. So if you will find anything on season 2, is going to promote more and more of the resources. Season 1 gave you all the information. Season 1 of Girlfriends Guide to Homeschooling gave you a lot of encouragement. People just saying, like Aquarius said, I didn't know what I was doing. I just jumped in and did it, right? You got a lot of that in season 1. Season 2, you're going to have a lot of resources that we're going to help you see all the resources that's there at your fingertips to help you to be a success. Okay, so pay attention to those things. All right, but I'm so glad that you said you didn't know what you were doing, so we don't have to start homeschooling knowing how to do all of it. Not at all. We just start where we are. Okay, right, and just make it happen. Make it happen. So with that said, take us to your worst day of homeschooling. It's so bad you wanted to quit and give it up and say, I can't do this, this is not for me, but you didn't quit. This is why you're this awesome, amazing STEAM homeschool mama that you are. Take us to that day.
This was probably last year.
Last year, you all, just last year.
The thing is, I tutor kids for a living, so there are difficult moments in there with them. So I think in those kind of wanting to give up on with them, it helps me to know how to push through with my homeschoolers. So, last year, it was just one of those days where they just weren't focused. I was repeating myself over and over again. They wouldn't sit still. And I was like, you know what? Just go to lunch and don't come back from lunch. Like, school is over today. It's over. We just and I think we have to be honest with ourselves in that sense too. Like some days it just ain't gonna happen. And it doesn't matter how
Yeah.
much you really just want to push for whatever
Yeah.
reason. You just gotta sometimes you have to give up. Like it ain't working today. We just gonna try again. And I just had to honestly do that day. I was like, y'all go to lunch. It was like 10 o'clock. Just go to lunch. And when they came back from, I said it's over. School is over today. Y'all go do whatever you want to do. They
Yeah.
had worked my nerves so bad.
And it happens. It happens.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, I think we have this notion where it's supposed to be perfect. It's not. It's not ever going to be
Yeah.
perfect. And then there are also times, if you don't mind me sharing, where we feel like we're not making a difference. There were times, especially in the beginning, I questioned myself even as a teacher. You know, I'm an educator. I do this for a living. And there were times where I felt like I wasn't doing enough for my child. Was he getting it? I know I'm good at what I do, but am I really doing what's best for him? Is he really learning? And then when I would watch him with other people and he would know these things that I talked about that I thought he wasn't listening, and that's when it solidified it for me. It's like, girl, you got this. He's learning. You're doing what you need to do for him. And then realizing he's learning way more than he would learn sitting in that classroom. And that's what keeps me going, honestly. That's why I don't want to send him back, because I can give him the world, literally.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Take us to your proudest moment of homeschooling. The moment that you're like, this right here, this is why I do what I do, and I'm going to stay and keep doing what I'm doing. Take us to that proudest moment.
Okay, so my proudest moment was, so for Black History Month, they had to do, this was last year too, the proudest and the worst all in one year. So Black History Month, we've gone through, they had to pick, I think it was 3, notable figures in different categories. They had to do the research, and then they had to come up with their own presentation, figure out whatever project you're going to do. So I didn't set any guidelines for it. It was just, you had to have a certain amount of information, and however you want to teach this information, however you want to present this information. Do you know my son, and this is something I didn't even know how to do. My son did stop motion animation videos with Lego to present about, who did he have? Jackie Robinson, and who was the Super Soaker guy? His name, Lee.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
But
yeah,
yeah.
I don't know his name.
So,
but
yes. Oh my gosh. I was floored the way that he all he said was, "Mommy, I need your phone." So he took my phone and he set up the Lego pieces and he snapped and put it screen by screen. He did voiceover recording. I didn't even know how to work this thing. And I was like, whoa. Wow. And so that was like really my proudest moment. And I shared that. We went live, and I'm going to tag you in that video. It's on my Facebook page so you can see it. Absolutely just, and I'm thinking he wouldn't have ever did this at school. Ever. It would have been a PowerPoint presentation, period, point blank. And the fact that he can think and go so far beyond that was, wow. Yes.
Amazing. That's excellent, excellent. And you're right. Those kind of things don't really happen in that way in public school. Not in that, and I think the blow your mind part of it is that that's your kid in your house who created the thing, not somewhere else in a public school setting, perhaps. So, I mean, that is absolutely beautiful. Excellent. Girlfriends, I'm going to tell you all to go ahead and take a moment to hit the share button if you haven't done so.
Share.
Make sure you interact with us with some thoughts, some thumbs ups, some hearts, some smiley face, some surprise faces, hit those emojis on there and let us know. So we're going to go on to our second part of our show, where these Aquarius are some questions, some quick questions to pick your brain,
Okay.
okay? And you can just make them quick, give us some answers as we get ready to wrap up, and then I'm going to give you time to please showcase what you are doing because the community needs to know. We need to know. All right. Here we go. Do you plan to homeschool Jakhari all the way through to the end of your homeschooling journey?
I would like to. He wants to go back in for middle school, so I'm working on changing his mind.
Okay.
So
Okay. But you're giving him that freedom too, if that's exactly what he wants to
yes,
do.
yes, but I would love to just take him all the way.
Gotcha. What is something that's unique in your homeschool that you all do in the Cain family that it may be unique, not normal to someone else's family? What's your unique thing?
I think for us is it just being completely STEAM based and oriented, and everything is based on their likes. And then I'm able to kind of take it and go from there, and including that entrepreneurship as well. So everyone in my household, even my other homeschool students that I homeschool, they are building their own businesses at the same time, in addition to exploring that STEM side and that love of STEM as well.
Wow, neato. Excellent. What are some resources or curriculum that you have in your library that you think every family needs to have in their homeschool library?
For language arts, my favorite to use is The Good and the Beautiful. I really love, and they've got a full curriculum in there, but their language arts section, I really like. It walks you through step by step every single day from start to finish. I haven't found anything else that I've liked in language arts besides that. I can't remember my math curriculum, but when I remember it, I will make sure that I share it with you. That math curriculum, I literally bought it from 1st through 8th grade. So that's how good I thought that math curriculum was as well. And then I think everyone should have, just in terms of STEM and STEAM, we have our own STEAM subscription boxes that helps you to go through. Because I know a lot of times most parents are the opposite of me, where they hate the science and they don't really know how to do the science part. So I take care of that for you. I love it. So I pull everything together, all the materials, all the lessons, the vocabulary, discussion questions, all of that, ship it to you. And I think that it will help you, in your families, where that's one less thing you've got to try to plan on your own that you're not necessarily so fond of, but the kids love it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be me right here. Tell us advice that you have received on this homeschooling journey that really has helped you stay on track as you are homeschooling your son now these 4 years.
Advice that I have been given. Well, we homeschool moms, we stick together, period. And we kind of form our little cliques and everything, and just kind of shooting advice off to one another. I think that the greatest advice I think anyone can give and has given is just to not try to duplicate the school setting. It's just let it flow. Whatever it comes to be, that's what it is. And I think that helped me to just kind of pull back. Remember, I said in the beginning, I felt like I had to replicate the school setting and all of that, but just getting that advice to just let it be what it's going to be. And start with where he is and not where the school system says he should be, or whatever the case may be. And I think that helps everybody to feel better and comfortable when you're trying to homeschool.
Absolutely. I agree. I sing that song all the time. Please don't duplicate public school in your home. Create your own school setting for your family.
Yes.
So very good. All right, Aquarius, here's the last question. Okay. The $1 million question. Are you ready?
I'm ready. What you got?
All right. Okay, if you had to start all over again, Aquarius, back to day one of your homeschooling journey. However, you have the current knowledge, experiences, resources now, and you to start all over again. What would be something you would change or make it different this time around? What would be something you implement that's different this time around?
What would I do differently from where I started to where I am now? I think I would just, what I'm doing now is what I would do had I started. Because we found our flow. I've found exactly what works for us. I would just make sure I incorporate like I'm doing now. Definitely getting out of the house more and doing more field trips. Because that first year we didn't really get out that much. We just kind of stayed in, and I just kind of did. But just allowing that freedom, changing things up. We took the desk away. We sit on the floor now. We don't wear shoes. My sister laughs at me because I take the first day of school pictures and we don't have shoes on. So, just if it's pajamas, it's pajamas. If it's not, it's not. If we put clothes on, we put clothes on. That type of thing. Just that freedom is what I would do differently. Absolutely.
Yeah. Freedom. I love it. Freedom. All right. Very good. Well, Aquarius, thank you so much for sharing your nuggets and insights. And I'm going to tell you what, and I said this all last season, and once again, I get to do this. This has got to be the most rewarding thing for me to sit in and interview people, because you all encourage me and give me more, this fire to like, okay, I can do this or do this or make. So I get encouraged myself for my own homeschool journey. So thank you for your insights and that energy that you have brought to this homeschooling journey that we're all on. So beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Well, listen, any last words of advice you want to give the girlfriends? And please let us know what you have your hands into for the African diaspora community, or the homeschool community at large.
She said, what do I have my hands into? Have you seen what what don't I have my hands in?
I know. Right.
So what I'm going to do right now is just plug you guys into, again, just what the kids are doing. So my son actually owns his own business, Kids Crafty Creations. And so what he's going to be doing is some homeschooling art online. So something to plug the kids into, something different. And again, art was one of those things too. Art and history were the things like, yeah, let me find somebody else to do that. Mm-hmm. So, so now you've got kids. Plug into the kids is really what I can say. There's so many kids out there. Plug into them, encourage them to be and do. That's the beauty of homeschooling, because they don't have to sit in school. They can go out and make money. And then that means you don't have to buy them a lot more stuff anymore either. Just to throw that in there. But so my son he'll be having his virtual art classes. I've got my hands in. Next week I'll be in Jacksonville, Florida for my very first ever homeschool convention. Yay! So if you are in the area, or if you want to come next week, it's the 8th through the 10th in Jacksonville, Florida. So I'll have a vendor booth, and my homeschool planners. How could I forget that? So, duh. So I have like completely comprehensive everything that you could ever ask for in your homeschool planner. Because I know as homeschoolers, when we're planning, we got like 15 different folders and this and that and all of that. So everything's all in one. So everything that I'm doing is to really help make your homeschool life a whole lot easier, because it can get pretty hectic as well. So the planners, the Dream and STEAM kits, those things make your life easier. I've got a student planner for your students if you want to make sure that you're helping to teach them the organization and time management skills as well, because those are things they got to learn too, whether they're in, maybe they don't have to manage their time in terms of homework, but they have to manage their time, period. And just homeschooling, period. So I'm in the Atlanta metro area, and I homeschool other kids. So if that's something that you're interested in, even if you're not in the area, something new I'm digging into is virtual homeschooling. So people who are not in my area, because when I say I live on the west side of Atlanta, ain't nobody coming out here, Angela. They pick at me. I'm that far out there. They say we live in Alabama. That's how
Wow.
far out I am. So trying to be able to
Okay.
reach more people because nobody's coming to me. So I'm offering the virtual homeschooling as well because I love it and I want to help you parents who just there's certain things that you just feel like I just need this assistance with. So I'm here for that.
Now, can you tell us real quick the ages that you will be doing this virtual homeschooling and the subjects that you will be doing this
Okay.
for? And is the homeschool planner, is it for the parent or for the child? Can you
Okay.
clarify those three things?
All right. So the ages for the virtual homeschool is going to be for middle and high school students. I'll have the curriculum, your 4 major subjects is what we're going to be going over. And I'm currently working with someone to add a traveling piece, going abroad as well. And so that's going to tie into studying and learning about abroad and then taking that trip at the end of the school year to travel. The first place is going to be Ghana. So, yay!
I'll be in Ghana in October.
Really? Okay. And as far as the homeschool planner is for the parents. And so the planner itself, I have it to where it can be completely customized to what you need, whether you have 1 student, 5 students or more, because I know that's an issue too in terms of planning for multiple age levels. So all of those features are in there for you. What was the other question?
Okay. And the subjects that you will be doing on the virtual
so the subject's going to be your math, your reading, English, language arts, your history, geography, and your science and STEM.
And then travel.
Yes, and traveling. Looking at the adding in the typing, the keyboarding, and also a foreign language. So I'm working on the foreign language piece as well.
Okay, lovely, lovely. That's exciting. I didn't even know about all of that stuff. So girlfriend,
yes,
there you go. You got some resources. There's no excuse. You got the encouragement and you got the connection, the hookup right there in Georgia.
Yes.
So girlfriend,
yes,
let me tell you, remember, you are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with. And this hour you have been hanging out with Aquarius Cain.
yes, greatness, greatness. And
so, listen, keep up the momentum and continue to connect with other positive homeschooling people who are going to bring value to your life, value to what you're doing, and value to your journey. Okay, like Aquarius said, we're a community. We really are a community. And the more and more we know and see interviews like this, we know that we can do it because, hey, Aquarius is doing it. Hey, Angela been doing it for 19 years. Hey, Shiva Quinn, she's over there doing it and doing all kind of cake academies. I mean, there's so much you can do. You cannot feel like you cannot do it. And this is what I want to emphasize to you. You can do it. We should be doing it. We should be educating our own, okay? All right. Look, Aquarius, thank you, thank you, thank you. Look, Girlfriend's Guide to Homeschooling is so grateful to you and grateful for you for giving it of your time, your expertise, your knowledge, and encouragement to this community. So thank you so much. Peace and blessings and Godspeed and all that you are doing.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I enjoyed it. I had so much fun. I'm always excited to share with other homeschoolers because, sometimes we're in the house, we don't get to talk to adults. So thank you so much for inviting me. And if there's anything else that you need or that I can do, then definitely let me know. And I'm pretty sure I can do it.
Absolutely. I'm going to pull on you because you know what? You all don't know, educating our own, that was my love, and now it's about to start and popping hot and popping. So anyway, there's a lot we're gonna do to encourage this community. So listen, girlfriends, remember that to teach a child is to touch a life. And as we homeschool, we not only touch a life, we shape the future. Yes. Through our efforts of homeschooling. So keep making a positive impact day after day, year after year. It's going to be worth it. And if you need to take a break and say, school is over for today, I'm done, y'all drive me crazy, do it. So then the next day or the next week, you can get back into it. Just like Aquarius said, she's been in it for 4 years. So thank you all for joining us. Be sure to share. Go over to YouTube channel, find Girlfriend's Guide to Homeschooling. Subscribe. Look at all those videos. 100 and some interviews I did first season. Go through them and get the encouragement. Don't just look at it. Hit the thumbs up, so that will give us more visualization there on more traffic on YouTube, okay? And then go to Facebook, Girlfriend's Guide to Homeschooling. Be sure to like and follow there. Aquarius, all of her information, her contacts, where to purchase the planner, her virtual homeschooling, her boxes. I'm so excited. The S.T.E.A.M boxes, all of that information is going to be, or should be, already in her her bio there in this notes for today. Okay. If not, you can contact Aquarius. She is tagged. Contact her, hook her up, and get connected. All right. So thank you all for joining. Educating Our Own Now. Go to Facebook page and like that. And the homeschool startup, all of my information, get connected. If you're in South Carolina, I can help give you legal status to homeschool. All right. So thank you all. Blessings, peace, Uhuru to all of you. This is Angela Jordan Perry with Girlfriend's Guide to Homeschooling.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.